Hi everyone, good afternoon. Can we ask everybody to just join us up here toward the front, please? Oh, there we go, great. And everybody join us toward the front. Everyone, come to the front, please. Everyone.
That sounds like a hospital, doesn't it?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming this afternoon and being with us here. I think that number one is we would like to thank everyone who's here with us this afternoon and for being flexible. This has, if anything, if the last year has taught us anything, is how to be more flexible with our lives, right? And so with that flexibility, as you know, we have changed a little bit of the program. So we're going to start with this afternoon doing a quick little meetup, and that's exactly, and you guys are, getting A+ for that because everybody's talking, which is fantastic, in this wonderful space. I also want to take a few minutes and thank McKnight and our sponsors. I mean, this is a fantastic place, fantastic venue that we're at. So thank you folks so much for having us and for lending us this wonderful space and for leading the charge really in making some of these projects. Like I was speaking to Jeff earlier today, and making some of these projects actually come alive. If you think about it, it takes a lot of effort to really push something that is out of the box as what we see here. But the funny thing is, people come back to our cities to visit places that are very unique, like where we are at right now, right? So that's one thing I just wanted to say. I did wanted to remind everyone that this is the first part of the event. So normally we have the placemaking award. It's like one big party on top of the William Penn. But now we're going to split it into two. So this is going to be the first fun part, which is we get to drink and talk to everybody. And then on May 12th, we're going to have another event where we're going to get to drink and talk to some more. But in that event, of course, it's going to be the much bigger real party. I've heard that we're going to have a water slide, right, yes. Jamie? Yes. Into the river. Okay, don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying rumors, right? I'm spreading rumors here. But again, that's going to be May the 12th. So that's coming right around the corner. But hopefully by that point, of course, we would have been done with a lot of the craziness that we're enduring right now with COVID and all that. Which is the reason why we wanted to postpone a little bit the event so that we could have a much bigger gathering and really celebrate all the wonderful things that we have happening with all our projects in the city of Pittsburgh. But we did not want to wait until then to really start celebrating our projects and all the great work that everyone has done up to now. The one thing, Jamie asked that I talk a little bit about the importance of placemaking, and I think that it's one of those really, really difficult things to talk about, right? Because here's the one thing that I learned during COVID is that the importance of placemaking or importance of a space is incredibly critical because we're all social animals, right? I mean, have you seen the pigeons? The pigeons in the plaza in Europe, they're all like pecking and they're all like together. And one of the things that one of my professors said is just watch out where the pigeons are. And those are the most successful places because that means that there are more people sitting there eating food and leaving crumbs behind, And actually we are just like the pigeons. We are very social animals, social people. But in order for you to be social, you also need to feel comfortable, safe, invited, and comfortable again, and that's one of the things that is very important in placemaking is being able to invite people of every kind, be able to feel comfortable in not only like the temperature, but also that the car's not going to kill you or, shark is not going to eat you, one of those weird things, right? So those are some of the important things about placemaking, but also the other important thing is what happens to a building, for example, like the building that we're standing on, which is a building that has a history to it. It's very closely tied, related to our city. And it could become something that it could almost be like a stamp that you could send to anybody and say, come to Pittsburgh, this is something you see. And I'll guarantee you there's nowhere in the world that is going to have a building just like this, you know. So the sense of something that's unique is very important, because that's what we want. That's one of the things as a human being that we would like to do, is be part of something that's absolutely unique, it's absolutely different, absolutely safe, and that gives us a positive opportunity to gather around like we're doing right now. So I think that's a little bit about the importance of placemaking. But now I just want to throw it to Jeff to say a few words, one of our main sponsors. Jeff.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to say, thanks for letting us have the sponsorship. So it's been an honor for us to do this. It's great to showcase the best of the projects and developers in this region. And it's appropriate for us to do it here. As the Highline, this project is just truly an amazing example of a transformative redevelopment project. And kind of showcases the incredible vision that McKnight has. So I've been pretty fortunate to know the McKnight folks for a long time, probably most of my adult career. So even before I was on the banking side. So I remember being a young real estate broker and walking into the old Gimbel's department store, and it might have been Billy giving the tour. And it was during construction, and walking around and going, okay, they've got skid steers and jackhammers, and they're busting a hole in the floor all the way to the roof, and they're gonna do what? They're gonna lease this as office space? I'm like, I don't see it. And of course, shortly thereafter, they leased the entire building. Great success, and to be honest with you, that I believe was kind of the kickoff of redevelopment of historic projects in downtown Pittsburgh. It really was, you know. So if you look at it, since the time of that, there's been many historic buildings that have been redone, both by McKnight and by other people. And I truly believe that they led the way for this, and continue to, and have over the last 20 years. You know, things like the purchase of the Grant Building, where they took that and brought it back to the prominent Class A building that it was back in its heyday. And then also, one of my favorite that we were involved in, purchased investment in the Henry W. Oliver building, where they took a building that was 2/3 empty, had the vision to transform it into a hotel and Class A office space. And then lastly, here, this is a really amazing project. You know, to have the views of the city, the transformation of the common area, green space, and just unique and very cool office space. So, congratulations for that. It is. Sorry about that. First National Bank has been honored to be a part of their team on this project and several other projects. And, as a leader in redevelopment in the region, we'd like to congratulate them as being chosen as the Placemaker of the Year. Truly a deserved award. Over the last 25 years, they've been just an important leader in this market. They've driven the continued success, the growth, and the transformation of this Pittsburgh commercial real estate market. So I just want to say, and I think we all should, congratulations to McKnight for being accepted as Placemaker.
Yes.
Hi, all. Welcome. I'm Izzy Rudolph, along with my dad, Bill, Chuck, and Adam Perlow. We are McKnight.
I'm a third generation owner. Sorry, is it off? It's on? Sorry. So welcome to the High Line. This is a 110-year-old building that in 2016 we purchased to convert into an office building. We were kind of naive and we didn't really realize how big it really was. Every room had another room, and before you know it, we're at 1 million square feet and 2 acres of public space with a 600-car garage. So really, the thanks is to our believers in our lenders who really backed us the whole way with a project that was way bigger than we realized, and it's really the credit is to Jeff. I mean, without you, we could never have done this, and we're really appreciative for your faith in that. But just a little bit of overview of what this project was. This building was the largest building between New York and Chicago when it was built 110 years ago. George Westinghouse, you may have heard of him. He was the lead investor in this project. It was a train depot, and trains actually pulled in where you park your car, and you load your wares up the various elevators, which are now support systems for the office building. Who would have thunk that horse and buggies were driving down Terminal Way? There is now a public green space that you could barely get a table at lunch now, but it's really amazing how the building has really lent itself in a fantastic way to today's uses, and we are really we're lucky and fortunate, and that it really it has a new life in it, and that's something that we're really thankful to the community for, and you allying groups like you guys who really believe in our vision and are really embracing it with open arms. So on behalf of all of us, we are really, really thankful, and we look forward to the next 110 years of this building. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Robin Zoflik. I'm with Piper O'Brien Architects. And David Gibson and I were the jury chairs this year for the awards. And one of the cool things this year is we're going to take a deeper dive into all these projects over the next few months between now and the actual award ceremony on May 12th. So tonight I'm very proud and happy to announce some wonderful projects as our finalists for the Placemaking Award. And we have different categories. And I have to say that I've been to a few events here at the High Line, and placemaking is defined by this place. It is just an incredible addition to the city, and for the people that were involved in this project, it is unbelievable. Pittsburgh is a very cool town, lots of different industries, and this is a great example of it. So the jury was made up of a diverse group, and we had lots of discussions. I'm not going to tell you who the jury was because you'll find that out on May 12th and in the some of the information you'll have. And my memory, quite frankly, is not that good, so I'd probably leave someone out. So I'm not going to do that. So the first finalist I want to announce is for what we call the catalytic place. And this is a place that generates improvement and progress through economic development and are improving the standard of living in the surrounding communities. So the first finalist is Bakery Office 3, Courtyard Refresh, and Galley Bakery Square. The developer for that is Walnut Capital, and Strata is the architect. And if you haven't been to Bakery Square, you're probably very new to Pittsburgh. So it is a wonderful development, and it definitely has generated economic development around it. And the new community center in the courtyard is going to continue to engage the community. The second finalist is Center Avenue YMCA renovation. Now, tremendous. Now, personally, I live on the north side, and I'm really glad because I figured out what a SRO is, because the north side YMCA is like the hill. Yes, that it's basically affordable housing for their single rooms, but the renovation was a tremendous community asset and will drive other occupancy. So from 1922 through the 50s, the YMCA has been a community resource and also a place for folks to live. The renovation began in 2020, and it resulted in 74 SROs, single room occupancy, that's what SRO is, and programming, and lots of wonderful space, and the people involved are Action Housing and the YMCA. So those are the two finalists for the Catalytic Place. Next we'll move to the Community Place. This is a place that engages and strengthens the community, neighborhood through opportunities to assemble, unite, and celebrate. And we all know the challenges of our last 18 months. And if we were outside, you'd probably hear the train a little bit more. But that's Pittsburgh also, right? So the first finalist is Homewood Community Engagement Center. And that's a project with University of Pittsburgh and a lot of community organizations in Homewood. And Strata is the architect. There's actually 2 phases. And this is a thing that the University of Pittsburgh is doing in the communities to bring education, resources to really strengthen local business and getting the community into a better place. Next is the O-Ringer Arts Center, and the developer for that is Greg Gander. Architect was Rothschild Doina Collaborative, and Soda Construction was the constructor. This is an old furniture store that was built in 1941, and it's about 45,000 square feet. And as you all know, Braddock is a community that is on the rebound, and one of the focuses in Braddock is the arts community. So the O-Ringer building has housing, it has community space for artists in the community, and provides networking and business development activity as they start new businesses in the community. So that's the community place. Now we get to the healthy place. So the healthy place is activity of social interaction through health giving and accessible design to improve overall quality of life. The first finalist in this is Two Doughboy, which is Desmond Architects' new office constructed by Gendico. And probably some of you in the room have toured that facility because they do a lot of tours through there. But the bottom line is that the WELL standard is a way to make offices good for the occupants and really support health and wellness. It is the first WELL certified gold building in Pittsburgh. Hopefully, and Beth will probably attest to this, there'll be more. Energy efficiency and WELL is very much in mind. Second project is the Monarch Institute Family Pathways Edition. And Family Pathways works with traumatized families in Butler County. The project is Family Pathways, and Dr. Ellen Walter Lewis is the leader of that. My firm, Piper O'Brien Her Architects, was the architect, and Edsel Engineer and Build built that wonderful addition that really took an existing building and turned it into today's needs. Next is Gerry's Woods Conservation Project, which is part of the Allegheny Land Trust. And this was a community-based, very much supported throughout Shaler and Reserve Township on Millvale, to take what was an area that the residents would use for passive recreation and seeing all the wonderful species we have in town. And they actually made it a permanent green space that will be, it's 155 acres that'll be used for generations to come. The cool thing about it is it's very near a bike trail and very accessible for other people in town to go visit. So that takes care of the healthy places. Now for the transformative place. And this is a great example of a transformative place, but since you guys got the big award, you didn't get nominated in this category. So the first project, which is downtown, it's 225 Boulevard of the Allies. And for, as I'm new to Pittsburgh, 21 years, but you know, Pittsburghers always go, well, it's a building that used to be this. So it used to be the Heart Association. And Fourth River Development was the developer, and Piper O'Brien, her architects, were the designers, and Burchick was the constructor. And the main transformation here is that this building was basically non-existent. When you went down Boulevard of the Allies, you saw PPG Place, and then you saw this kind of boring black facade that, you know, no one noticed. So through the transformation of the facade and adding a entrance canopy, it definitely stands out now and is separate from PPG Center. So it is both a interior and exterior renovation, and if you're there at night, there's a tremendous view into the place, and it'll be a great addition to downtown. Next, if you're lucky enough to get a reservation here, which I've been to in the last few weeks, Pussy's Garden Restaurant. So the owners are the Tong D and Michael Johnson. I'm not going to try their first names, but and then Moss Architects, Ground Stories was responsible for a lot of the garden stuff, and then Merrick Construction. So this took an existing building in Lawrenceville where the original restaurant was. They acquired the building next to it with a vacant lot, and they turned it into an iconic place that is going to be an internationally known place. From Butler Street, you see a door and a brick wall, and then when you walk through that door, you're totally transformed. If you haven't been there, I highly suggest it. Great addition to Lawrenceville. Next is the Roundhouse at Hazelwood Green, and this is Amano is the developer there, or the owner. One Valley, which is a company that has come to Pittsburgh, is the tenant, and GBBN were the architects, and PJ Dick, I believe, was the constructor. So this took a 133-year-old railroad facility and turned it into a global entrepreneurship platform. I know there's been some events there. Personally, I haven't been able to get there, but it is something to behold. The biggest thing there is, you know, we're preserving history in Pittsburgh just like we did here, and we're also utilizing existing brownfields that are important. So that's the, what was that? The transformative place. See, I can't remember anything. Anyway, community place is next. We're going to be here not too much longer. That way you can talk more and everything else. So, community place best engages, strengthens the community neighborhood through opportunities to assemble, unite, and celebrate. So, Homewood Community Engagement Center. Did I do this already?
Yes, you're on vision.
I did. Sorry. Woo. Okay. Visionary place. Sorry. Hey, when you're up here, you know, you got to add a little bit. All right, so Visionary is a place currently under development, promising significant impact of lifestyle in the region. And those are Fifth and Dinwiddie Development, which is Derek Tillman and Bridging Gap Development, and the architect is GBBN. This is located in the Econ Innovation District, and it's a multi-pronged approach to sustainable design, including passive house, solar energy, and dedicated space to train for clean energy jobs. It's mixed use, mixed income development with 171 housing units, including affordable, training, co-working, and retail space. And if we ever get the rapid buzz between Oakland and downtown, which we've been talking about since I got here, it'll be right on, real close to a station there, so people will be able to get to jobs in downtown and Oakland. Next is the Upmc Vision and Rehabilitation Tower in Uptown also, and obviously that's Upmc. So this will be a landmark building, state-of-the-art facility, and we will have a global forefront for rehabilitation and ophthalmic research and care. So, in other words, if you can't see, you're going to go there. It's also going to have experimental where people with these diseases can actually test out things that, real life examples. So last but not least is our jury award. So every year when we discuss all these projects, some projects don't make it into categories, and yet we feel as a jury that we need to honor them. So the first finalist in the jury award is the deck Mount Oliver, and that's a Mount Oliver project. And basically they took a community park and made it into a gathering place for music, arts, and getting the community out to interact. Next is the Allegheny Overlook with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, among other participants. And that was for those of you who drive, you're probably mad that they closed Fort Duquesne Boulevard, but I thought it was great, actually, because I live on the north side, so I could walk over. But it was a tremendous place to bring people into downtown, revitalize the cultural district, and really showcase local art and talent. And last but not least is the Oakland Avenue Placemaking Pilot, which is the Oakland Business Improvement District, Innovate Pittsburgh, and the University of Pittsburgh, and RICON was also involved. And this was the initial bold street redesign to address the needs of businesses to get people back to restaurants and businesses and gather. So it closed off some streets. There was cooperation with the city, the Pittsburgh, the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, and other things. So those are your finalists. And like I said earlier, over the next few months, and we'll have a schedule out, so we'll have every category, we'll showcase those projects that are the finalists. And then on May 12th, we'll announce the winners. So with that, Peter, I think you're wrapping it up.
Yes. I know it's kind of hard to be between us and the drinks over there. And I would like to ask everyone, please do your part because we don't want to take those cans back with us. So help out with that. First of all, I want to congratulate everybody. I think it's a fantastic set of awardees that we have this year. I think the main thing to think about is what these places are going to do and are doing, and how the impact they're having with the community. Being able to have a place that people can go out during COVID and actually be safe because outdoor. It has been a really fantastic thing for a lot of us and a lot of our sanity for sure. Again, Mike, thank you so much for allowing us to use this wonderful space. I mean, this is fantastic and great. Folks, please get a drink and then walk down the street. Well, now it's the the plaza, but walk down the plaza all the way to the river, and what you're gonna get to see is one of those authentic, real city views of a real nice, wonderful city. So, I highly recommend that. Just stay away from the railings. And then again, yeah, it might not be a good thing. And then just remind you again, May the 12th, it's going to be here again. That's going to be the big award, big ceremony. And the water slide, I was just told that this is not going to happen, so don't worry, folks. Back night, don't worry, we're not putting a water slide anywhere. And please have fun. And seriously, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us and all of our sponsors. Thank you so much.